Okay. La 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 la. So it appears I finished up this page, which ended up with this last piece just kind of being set. Well, see, it just fell over. It's just set in there for now. Okay. Let's see what happens from there. I need part H22. Well, let's just get the whole list. 18, 19, 20, 22, 34, and 41. Okay. So let's see. That goes over here. So H22, first candidate for installation. There's a little detail in here. Let's see if there it goes, autofocus, nice. That apparently my LED string has to go through that little slot. There's a little slot by number 1, and number 1 is indicated because you're supposed to do that first. So I guess I get to undo this again. So I got to pull the LED string through this piece, but this piece has a little bit of a checkered life coming up. There's a very, very fragile end of it that I was quite concerned about because I was supposed to put a piece on the side and connect to this one little kind of free floating arm you'll see here on the end, and I was really quite concerned about the possibility of breaking it, and lo and behold, I did. Oh no, dang. Broke it. Poopy. First casualty. Dang. Let's see. One of the more fragile pieces in the entire project, and I just broke it. Well, I'm going to try to effect some kind of a repair. Oh, by the way, let's get some detail of this. So this is the spot where the H20 piece, this guy, is supposed to go on. There's a lower tab down there that's supposed to fit into, and then this top one right there is supposed to go into that hole. But this is otherwise completely unsupported, and when I started pressing against it, it cracked. So sadly, this piece cracked off there. Let's see if I can effect a repair. Well, after attempting a superglue fix, I did dredge up some old, really old wood glue. And I'm not going to make any claims that it's going to stand up to abuse, but at least it is hanging on there when I pick it up. The previous attempts, the superglue did not cure, so therefore it did not become a solid fix. So let's see if I can manage to put this guy back in and mount that piece correctly. So this all goes through. Try not to snap that piece off. Okay, slides down across all that. Let's pass this switch through. Come on. And stand this capstan back up. Okay. Okay, so get everybody all realigned here. that's all happy. Now, I'm going to see if I manage to not knock that piece off. I suppose the prudent thing to do would be to wait for it to set up, but I guess I'm too impatient for that. It's bending, don't break. It's bending, don't break. Please don't break. Okay, it's in. I'm not sure if that glue is holding, but the pieces are in. Whew. So this was the area of concern right here, and that little supporting piece going down the back. Let's see if this camera gets a better shot at it. Oh yeah, okay. So right off the helipad, there's that this little extension. That's the piece that was a problem. And here's the H20 piece. That was the point of issue. Okay. Woo! Gee, how long was that I worked on that top half of that page? I'm not even done yet. And so here I finally put in the last couple of pieces from the top of page 18. Holy smokes, that was more difficult than it should have been. Okay, it's time to put some more parts on. Okay. So according to this, C13 gets some wax on his gear teeth, and so does C17. And wax on the gears, and putting the pieces together to run this, let's call it a capstan for a better term, lack of a better term, to provide rotational energy way up the tower, because we'll need it way up the tower. And that's what was being built here. Okay. Sweet. So, according to this picture, this appears to be what I have. Okay. Now let's put some more pieces on. In this step in the top of page 19, we've got a bunch of little parts that are going for the, oh gosh, for lack of a better term, let's call it the lower swing arm. And this is the one that includes the little piece that's got the R for the Roker logo in it. There weren't any real dramas with this. Of course, no broken pieces or anything like that. But it's, as I've found throughout this whole project, it's a bit of a challenge and a concern to make sure that all the parts are oriented correctly, that the artwork is showing in the correct spaces, etc. So this is all part of that big swing arm assembly. All right. Next, H28 times 2. Then I started getting more of the parts that were getting ready to go onto that swing arm to build it up, build it out, give it some shape and some character. Sweet. Okay, so what I'm seeing here, let's it's not focusing. There we go. Is that red indication, I believe, is my LED wire. And the switch stays out of harm's way. Okay. All right. So, get the switch out of the way. Well, I'm just not having the best success here. There we go. Thank you. And thank you. Okay. I sure hope that's what that means. All right, next. H32. I didn't get any parts out. I just started routing wire. Okay, H32. Okay, so just to let you all know, H38, well, autofocus is not going there. So H38 is part of H39 according to this, and the way it's packaged. But this drawing shows right up here that there's open slots, open, good grief. There's little indentation. I do not envy the people who had to A, make these designs, and then B, somehow manage to conjure up all this artwork. This is pretty fantastic, actually. Okay, so I'm going to guess that's waste, but we shall see. And some more wax goes on those. Looks like top of page 20 has to do with building the supports and then putting in H39, the part that I'm put wax around the central holes for let the gears turn in. Okay. And now a C8 and an H38. C8. And here, I guess we're really close to the bottom of page 20. And what we're doing is we're putting in the bearings that are going to fit really closely to that platform, H39, that we just put in to make sure that the capstans turn correctly and freely as they go up the tower. There's a couple of caution spots in the instructions that want to make sure you've got things aligned correctly so that they'll work with the switch, that they'll work with the gearing to move the swing arms correctly, the right distance, the right direction, that kind of stuff. A lot of time. Okay, so that's the end of page 20, with some little adventures going on in there. Yeah, 4 minutes. Let's see what I can do with 4 minutes. H42 and H43. H42 and H43. H43 goes down.
So in these couple of sections, I left the original audio intact because I just didn't feel like chopping it completely out. So it self-narrates, but these are rather long sections, so I sped them up only 2x. All the other speed up spots are 10 times. And I replaced the audio.
Okay, so I'm supposed to take this wire
because it's
and wrap it once down here, and then up, and wrap it 3 times. 1, 2, 3 times. Okay. I guess that's to put an LED right there. H27, 30, and 29. H27.
So as I've said, I don't do this from a script, so I'm kind of watching this at the same time you are while I'm recording this voiceover.
Yeah,
so I'll stop this for now and just let this play out.
Okay, that's H27. How about H30? Okay, and H29 is also right next to it. H30 and H29. Oh, there goes my alarm. Okay. I just did, no I didn't. I just did the supports for that stuff. Okay. M1. This is another one of the translucent pieces. And it's going to go over here where this, I call it a capstan, I could be wrong. So it's got 3 holes. Slot, slot, and slot. So that's that slot, and that slot. Oh, look at that. Cool. And then I need an E4 and an E5. I haven't gotten to the E card yet. E4 and E5. Well, yes, I have. There's a couple there. Oh boy. Oh, that's cool. That scared me at first. I thought it was a broken piece. Check this out. See how it's cut? I sure hope this thing's on autofocus. There we go. That's cut so it can bend. I love that. Hello, this is E4. Okay, now I need an E5 and an E6. And 2 P2s, M2 by 5 millimeter. Okay. So it's almost time for me to knock it off for today, or at least for before lunch. Okay, so this here is E5. This is E6 going across it diagonally, and these 2 screws hold that in place. Come on. Do. Okay, E5, E6, E4, and these guys all go over here this way. How about that assembly? Oh, come on. God, if it doesn't go in better when it's aligned properly. Wow. Totally bizarro. And then this piece. And the bendy piece doesn't? Well, okay, I'm going to put the art side on this side. Okay. And now a J1. Holy smokes, where's J1? There's the J card. And J1 is this big dude. J1 goes this way. Okay, that's what that arrow is indicating. Where is that? Really? Oh, I see. Okay. Oh, goes to the back one. That's why it wasn't fitting. Oh, Charlie's excited about something. There. Okay. That's the end of page 21. Kind of like this little tower dude. I wonder if that's supposed to go behind that. We'll see in the next piece. Okay, so that's it for now. I'm going to stop just before I do the last assemblies here and then do a power test. This will be fun. Okay, so now I'm returning from after having lunch. Okay, now I'm continuing over here, and neither camera shows the book very well, so let's do this. I'm now going to do this little assembly, and then it looks like it's a bunch of power tests. Oh, I hope this stuff all works like it's supposed to. Don't want to take a bunch of things apart. Okay, so I'm going to set this a little aside over there while I get all these parts out. Yeah, the last bunch of parts I got were for the left side of page 22. And it turns out it's kind of like a little stairway to go from different levels on the tower. And there were no dramas and no issues with this assembly either. But the fun stuff's coming with this power test. Okay, LEDs are on, yay. Touch the start switch once. That's down here. Look, it's moving, guys. Is that cool or what? Oh, that was kind of fun. Okay, touch the start switch again and the device is reset and the light beads flash. Okay, I know you can hear my smile and not see it, but holy smokes, that was cool, guys. Okay, let's do that again. Switch off. All right, I'm gonna turn the assembly. No, I'm not. Let's see what this does. Switch is on. Okay. And the lights came on. All right, here we go. Okay. And now that that's out that far, now I hit the start switch again. And that should bring it all back in. And the watchtower will swing over. and those lights will flash, and the little starter motor lampshade gizmo down there. I'll tilt this up so the camera can see it. See, that's lit up. That's just pretty cool. Pretty awesome. Okay. And power off. Yep. Yeah, pretty much like the most fun I've had all day. Okay. I'm going to take a break, show that to Brenda. Okay. Now I've shown this to Brenda. Nice successful launch. Now I'm going to cover some more stuff up. I need H35, 36, 37, and a J8.
Okay, funny story. Originally, I thought this day's activity ended at the end of section 3. Whoops. There were 2 whole sections, actually another couple of hours of real-time video that I have fortunately chopped up and made shorter. So here we go. We're continuing the build process on the tower. And I believe, oh gosh, I haven't turned my book to what page that is, but as you can see, I'm stringing the LED string through that piece and wrapping it around several times and hoping that I've built that right. I think I did it in the wrong order, but you know, I got it done eventually.
Okay, now I need a C21. C21. Whoops. Who in the world are you? Oh, here's C14. Well, why don't you just hang out over there for a sec? Okay, C21. J14.
Got myself in a little bit of a hurry here, and you're about to see, gotta go do some rework because I missed a plastic part.
M4.
Okay, at this spot, I'm taking the previously missed M4 piece and bending it at the scores so that it wraps around that location that it's supposed to be installed in more easily. And then we'll start putting in more pieces on top of it.
Okay, more launch tower building. Now we're getting ready to do page 24. And so for page 24, I need E7 and 2 E18s.
And a J9, a J10, and 11, and then an M8 as well. The M8 is the little plastic part that you can still see on the bench there. That after I put all these other pieces in, strung the light string through the board there, the M8 piece gave me fits because for some reason the 2 little E18 pieces of wood that are supposed to hold it in place, they weren't going through the plastic very easily. So I had to play all kinds of games with that to make sure I got that piece to go in. Took altogether way too much longer than it should have. Way too much longer. Can't seem to speak on these non-scripted voiceovers. Anyway, there you go. I kind of futzed and fiddled with it, and I finally did win, and the piece went in.
There. Oh, Lord. Okay. Meanwhile, hand tools out of the way.
And now, at the bottom of page 24, I see that I'm wrapping the LED string around that piece of wood that is on the other side of the M8 piece of plastic. that I struggled with a moment ago.
Right there. Okay. And thus endeth page 24. Okay, that was section 4 completion. This is the wider shot, so it's easier to show the thing in, excuse me, more of a context. Power on. Okay. Now let's launch into section 5. Here we are on day 3. Okay, some more mechanical stuff to build.
As we begin section 5, I've understood that the part K14 is actually a helper tool, like I did on one of the first days when I found that the thing that I called a gauge was actually a helper tool to make sure that I could press clear washers on correctly. Anyway, yeah, we're building one of the lower arms here, and after this assembly is completed, the book does in fact tell you to remove that helper tool and make sure you have all of the parts aligned correctly. They want to have that last washer right up, snugged up against the gear set at the end of the square post.
Okay, so now these teeth engage with the gear right under there. Sweet. Yeah, anybody seen that J18? Oh, I haven't got it out yet. Ha. There's J18. And J30. That's one of these. Okay, so J18 goes over here to help hold all that in place and in proper alignment. Very nice, very nice. And then J30 pops onto the end of this. Yep. Okay, I'm into my second card. Over here, I'm still in the A card. Okay. Excuse me. All right, so that's page 25. Now we're going to go on to page 26.
Okay, again, as I speed ramp through these build phases, I have to go back and consult the book to make sure I'm narrating the right parts. And yeah, I'm just continuing. It would appear to be the page 26, I believe, and it's making sure that the LED string is routed correctly and making sure that the parts go in the correct orientation. As always, yeah, here's another plastic piece that gets wrapped around the corner of the tower, and wanted to make sure that I didn't overstress the score points on it because I didn't want to break a piece of plastic. There were no spares. So yeah, just continuing to build my way up the tower. Look at that.
Okay, That's page 26. Okay, what's going on with page?
Yeah, I'm on a page 27, cut myself off there. And, again, putting the pieces together where I can, trying to make sure that I've got them in the frame. Sometimes that worked out better than others, but yeah, this is a slow, intricate process, and I really wanted to make sure I got all the right parts in the right place, in the right orientation, etc.
Okay, guys, working our way up the stack. I'm almost done wrapping LEDs around things. Getting close. Okay, second half of page 27.
So you may or may not hear in the background occasionally a school bus will go by the house, and you'll hear that noise. Anywho, yes, continuing with the bottom of page 27, assembling that platform. And we're just about done with section 5. We'll just go to the beginnings of page 28 here in just a moment. Yeah, we're clipping right along. In fact, at times we're going a little too fast. I have to go back and do some rework. This doesn't appear to be one of those times. So let's see, where are we at?
Okay, after dinner, we are starting step 6. Step 6. Adding some more stuff onto there. Okay, let's get busy.
Yeah, I think I got all the parts out, but for some reason there were 2 plastic pieces, 2 M9s, and I very carefully put one in but forgot the other. So I get to rework.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, both sides of that piece were supposed to have the little M9 pieces of translucent plastic in it.
Oh no, cripey. I just goofed that up. Ah! Oops.
So here, yeah, I showed the detail of that, what I called a capstan being out of alignment, and I had to go back and repair that. Then,
Oh, I forgot to put M9 in. Oh, drat. No, I didn't. No, I did. Yes, there's a second M9 for this side. Slow down, buddy. I know you're trying to get done.
and there comes a point in time when going fast might cause less efficiency than going slow and doing it correctly.
You know, and I did that just a hair off screen. Crap. So that's the part that I forgot. So now let's reassemble.
Now that I found what was missing, I had to reassemble all that stuff that I had done a couple of minutes ago in the time that you're watching the video. Sure wish I'd kept the camera there and got the top of that tower really well.
That looks about right. Thus endeth page 28. Now we'll wrap up step 6, which is going to be the top of this page. And 7 is the bottom of that and the top of that. Then we start step 8. And step 8 is actually building. Okay, so I'm 2 steps away from finishing the support tower, and then I think step 8 starts the shuttle. Oh, that's going to be fun. Okay, so set this guy aside. Hello.
Okay, so here we are wrapping up the top of 26. And then step 7 is just the bottom of 29 and the top of 30. Coming up here in just a second.
That's what it looks like. Okay. That was the end of step 6. Now I'm going to start step 7. And this is going to be oh, you guys can't see the box. It's going to be this top arm up here. I just finished putting the cam on that and putting that guy up there. All right, so now we need a bunch of D parts.
Okay, as you can see, I've got the parts laid out for the assembly minus 2 little round pieces of the fueling arm, I guess, for the external fuel tank. It's the last top piece of the tower.
Sweet. Okay, and the last page of step 7 is now going to be D7 and E12. D7. Whoops. That was D7, E12. There's E12. All right, so that fueling arm for the external fuel tank is now complete. And they want it to go up into that cam. Okay, so how is that oriented? I refuse to say orientated. Might be oriented or there. That was kind of anticlimactic. Okay, I think that's going to be a great spot to stop for day 3. I'm totally running out of space in my working hard drive for the video projects. So I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do about that. Okay, let's just, even though they don't say to do it, let's see what this does. I'm going to power this guy up. Well, if I can figure out how to get this into the connector. There we go. Okay, so one camera is going to have this view primarily, and this camera is going to have this view primarily. Okay, ready? Switch on. You can kind of see the lights in the tower, yeah? All right, let's hit that button. Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, see how far out this came? I think that's on screen. Okay, yeah, press this again. Okay. Okay, far and away the most fun I've had all day, right there. Cool. All right. I'll do a little cell phone sign off and then we'll be done for tonight. Stopping cameras. Okay. Yeah, like I said, far and away the most fun I've had all day. See ya. That was day 3.